these 2 days. Maximum time we are going to deliver, maximum time we are going to interact, and we'll be having a lot of deliberations and understanding, okay, this is the practical aspect, this is what is happening, this is not happening, this I can do or not do, how should I correct or recorrect. And another aspect is that it is very much related to the takeaway and at the same time how we are going to implement. So when I'm saying this is, let's also understand actually how it is happening. No, this is not going to happen, this will happen or will not. Again, I want your responses in between as well, and we can have discussions around those aspects. नहीं ऐसा तो चलता ही नहीं है, ऐसा तो हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता है. So then we can come on to some kind of agreeable agenda. Okay, ये ऐसा चलना है. So when we are coming to the presentations, this presentation means that we always need to go in some kind of language. Is that only English? या हिंदी में भी वो हो सकता है, या पंजाबी भी ऐसे कर सकते हैं. I believe it is not about language as such. It is about how well am I communicating to the audience, and it is not about me. It is about them. It is not about me. It is about you. Say if I am saying in this particular workshop, which is PowerPack presentations. We always connect people through stories. If I see and if I ask you, are there some, because 9th, 10th, यहाँ तक तो किया ही है, उसके बाद में भी there might be certain people who will be there and say, who might have opted science. But if I ask you about Archimedes' principle, will you be able to tell me? Anyone? Have you remembered Archimedes' principle? Now, if instead of Archimedes, if I say that, okay, there was a person who was just taking bath, he was there in the bathtub, and somehow something happened, and he said, Eureka, Eureka, और वो भागने लगा एकदम से, and he just jumped out of. So can you relate that with some kind of story? कुछ आपको याद आया?
Hello.
Okay. Can you give me something related to gravity, or do you know the theory of gravity? Yeah? Yeah?
Newton's law.
Newton's law. So if I see what is first law of Newton.
वो एप्पल का था सर वो.
Okay, very good. So my friend is saying कुछ apple तो था. So apple he has related to the theory of Newton, which anyways it was not. But then we always recall and see, okay, I was just sitting and then that apple just came on to my head, and then I thought about, okay, no, there can be some gravitational pull, no, by the earth. Maybe somewhere we are remembering it through some kind of story. So stories are always very, very connecting. Stories will always reinforce the learning that we all normally do, and we'll also remember, no, some kind of inferences through the story. Although even if I forgot about the basic theorem, maybe that I'll remember the story. So what is my story at present? Have we molded, no, that story? Because every time when we are interacting with my DMs, when you are interacting with your life mitras, when you are interacting with your customers, we have some kind of story, or some narrative is there. And how can I build and tell that story, or my own story, to those guys or to those people who matters me the most, right? Is something which is important and which is very, very critical. So earlier when we were used to sell only traditional plans, you made a story that, okay, fine, now my story is that let's take some exposure in case of ULIPs, and maybe through bond funds, and then you have made some kind of story. Later on you have changed the narrative and story. Why are you going only in case of ULIP? We do have certain products and we primarily deal in protection, and you have built a story around many stories related to Mercedes, story related to iPhone. There were stories related to the per day amount that you need to have as an expense maybe. towards the protection that you are getting, how cheap are you, and then you have made various kind of story and story taglines, no, we, all the organizations, so that we can reinforce that message that primarily we are just dealing with the protection and that is a prime business. Then we have reinforced, no, we also do have some fixed income, like fixed income instrument, we have some guaranteed products, so you have changed the story and narrative to that, and now you are building another story that no, we need to go, maybe that we are not building to an extent of VUNB, but still we are making it in a sense that yes, non-par, protection, par, everything is important, how we can have a healthy mix of and whole host of products and solutions that we can offer to the client. So what I'm saying is that we are changing the narratives and we are changing different storylines when we are going into the field. What is your story? Why this narrative or story people are going to buy in the field? Is certain things that we need to see. Now, has anything changed? I believe nothing has changed. If you see, now even from the era of when we were seeing certain movies and till now, if you see various songs, तो उसमें कुछ बड़ा ज़्यादा बदलाव नहीं हुआ है. The only thing is that maybe I have changed those words.
स्ट्रेटजी सेम होती तो उसको तोड़ मरोड़ के फिर दोबारा नए तरीके से बनाना होता है.
नए तरीके से बनाना. So that means what? That means that the rules of the agency or retail agency were same and are same maybe 10 years if I see prior or maybe now. But what has changed? What has changed is the story. What has changed is the narrative. What has changed is the way I'm presenting it to the audience. So if I see and if I can reconnect and recollect the dots, I always say that we are not changing the overall aspects, if I see. Because yesterday I was seeing there was a very healthy debate and post the interim budget which Nirmala Sitharaman had earlier during the day. So in the evening I was just watching that there was a very healthy debate and two guys, one was Shashi Tharoor from Congress and this Jaswant Sinha from BJP. And both were saying their own context. Although the GDP, if you see in the last 10 years or in that period, is less, no, in case of BJP, but how they have, or how Jaswant have built the story, or how Narendra Modi have built that story to say that how and why they are doing great. So I was just seeing various parameters related to employment, GDP, or various other aspects. And they were building different kind of narratives and stories, both of them. And when I was just watching them, I saw that why it is important, it is not only the story, but what is the subject matter which I'm adding to that. So do we have the right subject matter in the right context? So when I'm saying this, is that am I able to structure my presentation in a way automatically, immediately, promptly, whenever I am going to start the way I want, right? So that needs some kind of preparation. Preparation that there can be some ups and downs. Preparation that there can be very adverse kind of instances maybe, and that the kind of preparation is needed is being done by most of the players. So I am reminded of a man called like Michael Phelps, who have won various gold medals in swimming. And so when I was just going to the swimming in one of the contests, his coach, what he did was they always wear sunglasses. Or not sunglasses, but some kind of special glasses so that the water should not come inside. तो उन्होंने वो चश्मा जो है वो अपने पास रख लिया, जानबूझ के रख लिया, and then deliberately he has not given to Michael Phelps. and then Michael Phelps just went into this swimming, और उसका एक वीडियो भी है बहुत अच्छा, आप उसमें देखेंगे। तो जैसे वो चले गया स्विमिंग करने के लिए, so he was not wearing that, but still deliberately he did it, and then he did all kind of practices, and still he won the match, in fact. So then one of the reporter asked how you did it. So he said that my coach, he deliberately did it many times earlier, and I also do have an experience that in this kind of adverse situation what I will do and how I will operate. जैसे मेरे दोस्त बोल रहे हैं, ये बिल्कुल सही है कि जैसे ग्लास टूट गया या पानी उसमें चला गया और मे बी मैं भूल गया, और if some kind of instance of that nature will exist, then how I am going to operate. So that is called a heated moment. Often we see that, okay, fine, I do have these basic ingredients in place. I have learned wonderfully, and I know that, Puneet, we have really enjoyed, I'm thrilled, I have learned so many things. और ये सब चीज़ें, लेकिन क्या ना अभी मैं ब्रांच में जाता हूँ तो फिर वो इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो पाता है, because the circumstance or the environment is not such, it is not conducive in nature. Having said that, you will feel heat. I am also feeling that. The moment I am there in my office, the moment you are there in your branches, you'll feel the heat, right? There'll be one phone call, there'll be one instance, you will be having some